Hey everybody! Happy Wednesday at 10 a.m. Oh my gosh, I'm a few minutes late, but what else is new? I was scrambling around and of course my dog needed to go out, so I let her out so she wouldn't be a distraction during our time together. How are you all doing? This is a different time for me. 10 a.m. is different. I'm usually here on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. I'm going to take a little sip of water. I do have my coffee here for coffee and a card, but it's cold by now. So I'm going to take a sip of water. Thank you. If you're here, say hello. Love to chat. This is kind of my highlight of my weeks, is meeting with all of you for these Facebook Lives. I just have a couple announcements while we wait for everybody to join us. Hi, Kathy Smith, Garnett. Hi, Chris Butler. Today, I sent out an email. So you should have got one early this morning if you're on my email list. But today is the 24-hour stamp sale. And if you go to leslie.stampinup.net, there's pictures and lists of all the stamps. You don't have to look at the spreadsheet. You can actually look at the pictures. There's a couple there that I want to get. If I had the Itty Bitty Christmas today, I would have used that. I think I would have used it, but I don't have it, so I am going to order that one. And I think the stamp set we are using today is on here. Yes, the Snowman season. So it is on here. It is marked down to $15.30. Pretty good for a stamp set. This is the stamp set we're going to use. I have to do a winter style stamp or card for a swap I'm in. So I think I'm going to use the card we're making today for my swap. I have to make 16 of them. So I didn't make it Christmas specific. I made it more wintry. But you'll see that in just a second. Don't forget about my Poinsettia Place card class to go. Here are the cards. I know a lot of you have already signed up. They're beautiful cards using this suite. And I should be able to film the tutorials tomorrow and get these maybe out by the end of the week. So, or ready to pick up by the end of the week. I just have to get all the tutorials filmed and all the papers cut for y'all. So if you ordered that, you have until Sunday to register for this class. And just go to theplaidpoodle.com and there's a little link and you can register for it. Or just contact me and I'll get in touch with you and we can get that taken care of. So I'm really excited about that class. It is $25 for shipping included, or if you're going to pick up porch pickup, it's $22. You save a few dollars on the postage. Hi, Loopy. Also, my retired products sale, it's in a couple of weeks, I think about 3 weeks. The retired product sale is like my little garage sale that I'm going to have up at the Wellness Wheel. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Okay, let's get started. This is the fun card we're going to make today. I saw this on the interwebs, the internet, and I thought, let's make this card. I put a little hello from the Itty Bitty Greetings on there because, like I said, I didn't want it to be a Christmas card. I wanted it to be more of a winter card. It's called a W card. Can you see the W? I guess if I put it upside down, or an M. And it's got these little panels on the inside, and it kind of pops up when you open it. So that's the card we're going to make today. The paper I'm using is the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper. I really like this paper. It's really bright and cheerful. And I thought for our snowman we needed some bright and cheerful papers. Polka dots and stripes and checks in Real Red and Mossy Meadow and Pear Pizzazz. So that's a fun color that I don't use very often. Okay, so to make the card, I'm going to stick all that up there. You need an cut an 8.5 by 11 inch in half on the long side. So 4 1/4 by 11. And then score it at 5 1/2 and fold it in half. That's your card base. Now for this insert that we're going to make, this W insert, you're going to need a piece, and this could be any size. In fact, I probably could have gotten away with a smaller strip. I used a 2-inch strip by 11. But I probably could have used a smaller strip. We just need something to adhere our little panels on. And this would be a fun card for any occasion. If you have some smaller images, it would be really cute. So I took the 2-inch by 11 and we're going to score it. This is what makes the little pop-up. We're going to score it, and I'm using my paper trimmer because it has the scoring blade on it, and it's just faster and easier that way. So I'm going to score on the 11-inch side. I'm going to score at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and then I'm going to extend the arm because I have to score it at 8 1/4. We want to get the scores perfect. So 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4. And I'll do a blog post later, but I probably not till much later. I have to leave here and take my mom to the KU doctor. So once I get back from that. Okay, so I'm folding it in half. So that's the 5 1/2-inch score mark. And then we're going to fold this one back. And we're going to fold this one back. So there's your W. I think that's where the W comes from. Or an M. So that's how we're going to make this little mechanism inside to do the pop-up. Isn't that fun? So first I'm going to add my insert in here, and I cut a piece of the Designer Series paper 4 by 5 1/4 and a piece of Whisper White at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to adhere that to the inside of the card, just kind of give a background. You guys have big plans for today. It's kind of overcast over here in Lee's Summit, and then the sun just is popping out now. So, okay, now we're going to adhere our little W, and you want it so that these ends are adhered to the card base, and this pops up. So you want this part to be a mountain, if that makes sense. And you want to line up this score line right with the middle of your card, where your card folds in half. So what I'm going to do is put some adhesive on both ends. Hi, Connie. No sun yet in Fort Madison? Well, maybe it's on its way. I don't think we're supposed to get any rain today. I didn't turn on the local news today. I kind of was watching a little bit of the Ruth Ginsburg thing and while I was getting ready, but I didn't pay attention to what the weather's going to be. Okay, see how I adhered those ends? So now this is going to pop out. That's going to be our pop out. We're going to adhere our panels onto. So for the panels, I just took, these are 2 by 2 3/4, I think. Yeah, 2 by 2 3/4 inch pieces of Whisper White, and we're going to stamp on them. We're going to do a little coloring today. And I am using, like I said, the Snowman Season, and it is part of the discounted list of stamps today, 15% off. It does have a coordinating punch that I am going to use for the front. Oops, there we go. For my little lady. Snowman on the front. Snow lady on the front. So if you get the stamp set, you might want to grab that punch. So I'm just going to stamp these images, and since we're going to color, I've got a bunch of stuff over here. I'm going to use Memento ink. And I meant to get some of these colored before, but you know me. I was 7 minutes late, and I didn't want to take any more time. So you guys get to watch me color. So like I said, these panels are 2 by 2 3/4. Hi, Donna Pollock. How are you today? And I'm using a lot of the images from the stamp set. If you join me late, I said that I have to participate, well, I signed up to participate in a swap with other Stampin' Up demonstrators, and this theme is winter. So winter holidays, I could have done a Valentine, I think I could have done Christmas, but I thought I'll just do a winter. It'll get more traction that way. So I think this might be my swap card. Now I'm taking a little balmy blue for this little snow panel and just kind of stamping randomly. I thought, I don't know if we're going to get snow this winter, but maybe I will send these out to my little grandkids like the first time it snows or something. I thought that would be kind of fun. Okay, there's my 4 panels. Now I'm going to color them real fast because I know it's kind of laborious to watch me color. I'm using Mossy Meadow Real Red. I'm pulling the colors from the Designer Series paper. I'm using a little Smoky Slate for the ground. Of course, Pumpkin Pie for the snowman's nose. We're going to use Basic Black here in a minute. And then I grabbed some Flirty Flamingo to put some cheeks because I made mine a snow lady. So I'm going to do this really quick and hope I don't color outside the lines. Hi, Mary Gunn. Thank you. I found this, it's called a W fold card on the internet. I'm trying to think who made it. Lisa's Stamp Studio. She's an awesome Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And she made one using a different stamp set altogether, but it was really cute. And I thought, I'm going to try to make one of those W fold cards. So she sparked the inspiration for this card. I'm sure they've been around. This is just the first time I saw them, and I wanted to give it a shot. I thought it was kind of fun. I'm using Dark Mossy Meadow for the hat and the scarf. I don't need any on there. And I'm using the dark Real Red for the hat and the scarf. Like I said, I just pulled these colors out of the paper. That is one of the reasons I love Stampin' Up! I started purchasing Stampin' Up! Products, and then I became a demonstrator of Stampin' Up! Products because it does all the coordinating for me, and I don't have to be skilled in that. I don't have to be skilled in that. I don't have to be, oh my gosh. Oh, 4 seasons of trees. That would be awesome. That's an awesome idea, Mary. So you've made one of these before. This is my first one. Okay. Then I took some light mossy meadow and I just kind of traced this tree just to kind of give it a little green. And then I took some light balmy blue. That's what we stamped the snowflakes in, and I just colored in these little, I don't know if this is snow falling or he's juggling snowballs. I think this is supposed to be snow falling. So I did the same on these and just kind of colored them in with the light balmy blue. And then I took some light smoky slate and just kind of traced over the ground here. So our little snowmen don't look like they're floating around in this space. And that's all I did on those guys. So that is the panels. And then I adhered them on to, these are 2, I just made these 1/8 of an inch bigger. 2 1/8 by 2 7/8 inch. And these are Pear Pizzazz. Which is a subtle and not really a color I go to normally for Christmas, which I said this isn't a Christmas card, but we're using Christmas colors, but I like it. So I'm just giving these panels we stamped a little frame. Hi, Carol. Okay, And then I'm just going to adhere them on the 4 panels that we scored on the card. I'm pressing too hard on my Stampin' Seal. These two we can just adhere all the way down, but on these we're going to make sure that we just put adhesive on the panel because we don't want them to stick to the card, right? Ask me how I know that. On my sample, I had to, and I just did it again, girls. See? I get carried away. I'm just going to erase this one. My adhesive remover is a little bunky. I'm probably shaking the camera and everything else. Let's try a newer one. There we go. You don't want that to be sticky up there because you don't want it to stick to the back of the card. Now I've got it all over my surface. Okay, let's try this again. Put it in the center of these panels. There we go. Now my hands are all sticky. Okay. Make sure they're centered. And this one, it doesn't matter because it's going to be glued down. There we go. That's the inside of the card. Oh, Connie, I'm sorry. We don't sell this anymore, but I did find it on Amazon. It was $3, I think. It might have even been less than $3. So you could go, oh, you can get one at Dollar Tree? That's even better. Kathy Garnett says you can get them at Dollar Tree, Connie. But I do know they're on Amazon because I went and looked for you, and they are under $3 on Amazon. So, but go to Dollar Tree. Okay, there it is. There's the inside. There is the W. There's the W. Hence the name. So that's the inside of the card. Now for the front, I cut 2 labels out. I kind of took, I've got adhesive all over my work surface, y'all. This paper has kind of like little diamonds, so I cut 2, a red and a Pear Pizzazz, real red and a Pear Pizzazz label. And I'm just going to adhere them together. The name escapes me right now. I know there's some kind of label. And I don't know why the name isn't on the magnet. I'll get it for you. It's going to pop into my head here in a minute. Stitch nested labels is what they're called. So I cut a couple of those out of Real Red and the Pear Pizzazz. And then this piece of Pear Pizzazz is 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to adhere a piece of Designer Series paper. Look at that print. I like that one too. This is 3 3/4 by 5. So it will frame up on the front of our card. I like layers. Okay, and then I just put this right in the center. I just needed something to kind of perch my little snowman and greeting on so it wouldn't be distracting. Yes, Carol, stitch nested. Okay, now I'm going to show you a trick on this snowman. I am using my Stamparatus. And how I figured out where to put my, I hope I didn't throw that away. I might have. I'm going to grab a piece of paper so you can see how I did that because it's a pretty slick little trick. I'll just use this piece of real red. So I took my punch. Let's get the right punch. Here we go. The little snowman builder punch. And I punched it out of the paper. And I might have shown you guys this trick once before. And I'm going to make this a little smaller. And then I laid my stamps inside those indentations. Does that make sense? So now when I only have to stamp it once. So that once I got it all positioned on my plate, this is going to match with the punch. Now I can just put some plain, my Whisper White on here. And I'm using the Memento because I'm going to color this little snow woman in. Okay, I'm going to color her first, but now when we get ready to punch her out, it's all going to line up. So we don't have to punch the arms 2 times, the snowman 1 time, the hat sometime. It'll line up perfectly with our punch. So that's why I did that. And I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow and the Real Red. I am going to use a little basic black, which is right here for the hat. And that's it. Oh, a little Flirty Flamingo for her cheeks. And some pumpkin pie for her nose. So let me do that real quick. I'm not doing any shading or anything on these cards. I'm just coloring them in. I'm not being fancy. I did her little hat with the Real Red and the Mossy Meadow again. There's a little sprig of holly on here. I'm using my Stampin' Blend markers. These are alcohol markers. I I just like them because they blend so well. Hence the name Stampin' Blends, I guess. But you can also see the stamped image behind the coloring. When I use my Stampin' Right markers, which I use those for stamping a lot, they tend to color in, color over the stamped image. So that's why I chose the Stampin' Blends. Alrighty. Oh, we're going to use that in a minute. So now we can just kind of position our images in there. There is a little jockeying around. And we get everything in one punch. So now I'm going to put her together with a little liquid glue. Cute little hat. For some reason, I want to hang a little handbag on her, her arm. When I was making this morning, I thought, oh, that would be cute if she had a little handbag. I don't know why. And then I'm just sticking her on top of this little label. And for the little hello, I'm using a stamp from the Itty Bitty Greetings stamp set. As I said before, I didn't want it to be a Christmas card per se. I wanted it to be more of a winter card, so I didn't use the greetings, the Christmas greetings in the Snowman season card. I used the Let It Snow, and then I just put a little hello. And I'm using the Memento ink on that as well. And then you could just cut this tag out, but I have this this little punch. The name escapes me on this too. Carol, do you remember the name of this punch? It's probably label, something label. And I like to use it to flag the ends too. It just works really great for those tiny little sentiments. And then what I always like to do, classic label punch. Thank you, Carol. Do you have the whole catalog memorized? Thank you, Donna Mac. I didn't know you were on. How are you? And then I'm just sticking a little mini dimensional right in the middle of that little label. There we go. That is the card. I think it's so cute. I really like this W fold card. It's really sweet, and you could use this for any kind of occasion. Like Mary said, she used the 4 season trees. That's an excellent idea. It'd be really fun for anything. So you guys, girls, I miss you too, Donna. Thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Also, I'll have all the measurements and stuff over on my blog much later, probably this evening. I'll probably sit and watch TV with my husband and do that blog post after I get back from taking my mom on all of her errands. So, but I will have that if you missed them. Or I forgot to say. So go out there and have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.